Hey, pull up a chair for a second. My name is Ted, and I want to share something I've seen play out with my own eyes more times than I can count. 7 years from now, two people you might know, one earning exactly $58,000 a year as a teacher, the other pulling in $112,000 as a software contractor, will have net worths that look absolutely nothing like what their paychecks would predict. You'd assume the higher earner is crushing it, right? But here's the part. You won't believe the teacher is going to be dramatically ahead while the contractor is still stuck in the same spot. And the crazy thing is, it has zero to do with luck or talent. It's all about 3 quiet milestones most people walk right past without ever noticing. You see, the problem isn't your income or how hard you work. It's that almost nobody ever tells you the real architecture of wealth. We've all been sold this comforting myth that money builds in a nice, steady climb, like every smooth upward curve you've ever seen on a financial chart. But your actual financial life doesn't work that way. It moves in sudden lurches, long stretches of grinding where nothing seems to change, interrupted by brief windows where everything can shift forever. And there are exactly 3 of these windows, 3 specific milestones that the overwhelming majority of wealthy people pass through, while most people who stay broke either never reach them or reach them and fumble the moment completely. This isn't some rare exception for the lucky few. It's happening to regular Americans like you and me every single day. Meet Emily, the 34-year-old teacher in Portland making exactly $58,000 a year, and Marcus, the 41-year-old software contractor in Chicago, pulling in $112,000. On paper, Marcus should be way ahead. But 7 years from now, their net worths are going to look nothing like what their paychecks would predict. Emily is quietly pulling far in front while Marcus stays stuck. This isn't about luck, talent, or even working harder. It's about understanding that income alone doesn't decide wealth. These 3 milestones do. Most people never learn they exist, so they keep grinding away, hoping the next raise will finally change everything, never realizing they're missing the exact thresholds where real compounding begins. If this is already hitting home, do me a quick favor and hit that like button. It really helps. Let's break down exactly what these milestones are. Now here's where it gets personal, and I'll be straight with you because I've sat across the table from people exactly like Marcus. The moment someone crosses that $100,000 net worth line, something strange happens in the brain. You suddenly feel safe. You feel like you've finally made it. That warm rush of relief is real, but it's also the most dangerous feeling in personal finance. Emily never let that feeling take the wheel. Marcus did. I remember mentoring a contractor a few years back who hit 6 figures in his portfolio right around age 41. The day the statement showed $100,000, he called me excited and said, "Ted, I think I can finally breathe." 2 months later, he upgraded his apartment, leased a nicer truck, and booked a big family trip because we deserve it after all these years. It felt completely reasonable to him. That's the psychology trap. Your mind whispers, you've earned the right to loosen up right at the exact second when the compounding engine is just starting to pull its own weight. Society doesn't help. Every ad, every social feed, every friend's vacation photo is quietly cheering you on to spend more. Banks roll out bigger credit lines, retailers offer you deserve this financing, and the whole consumer machine kicks into high gear the moment your net worth crosses 6 figures. They don't want you to keep investing. They want you to become a better customer. That $1,000 extra a month in lifestyle creep doesn't feel like sabotage. It feels like progress. Emily, on the other hand, treated the milestone like a checkpoint on a long road trip. She felt the same pride, but she used it as fuel to increase her contributions instead of her spending. The system tries to pull everyone toward instant gratification, yet the people who pull ahead are the ones who recognize that quiet voice for what it is, a test. Pass it, and your money starts working harder than you ever could. Fail it, and you hand the advantage right back to the very forces that profit when you stay stuck. It's not about being a saint with money. It's about understanding the invisible current that's always trying to carry you downstream the moment you start to feel successful. So here's what I tell every person who sits across from me. You don't need more willpower. You need a simple system that protects you from your own future self. Here are the 3 moves that actually work. First, treat Milestone 1 like a non-negotiable finish line. Whatever you're earning right now, set up an automatic transfer today that pulls money into a broad index fund or retirement account before you even see it in your checking balance. Emily did exactly that at 28 and crossed $10,000 invested without ever feeling the pinch. The benefit is massive once that $10,000 is working. An 8% return turns it into more than $100,000 by age 55, even if you never add another dime. The risk none if it's truly automatic. Your decision-making brain never gets a vote. Second, when you finally hit $100,000 in net worth, do the opposite of what feels natural. Marcus raised his spending by roughly $1,000 a month right after he crossed that line. Emily did the smart thing. She bumped her contribution rate by 2% instead. That single choice is why she'll reach financial freedom years ahead of him. The system rewards the person who uses the psychological high of the milestone to accelerate, not celebrate. Third, sit down this weekend and write down your true baseline expenses: rent or mortgage utilities, groceries, insurance, transportation, the non-negotiables only. Multiply that number by 300. That's the portfolio size you need for Milestone 3. If your baseline is $3,000 a month, you're looking at $900,000. The lower you keep that baseline, the sooner freedom arrives. Emily kept hers low on a $58,000 salary and will get there by 49. Marcus never ran the number, so even at $112,000, he's still years away. None of this is sexy. None of it requires genius. But every single person I've watched follow these 3 steps has changed their trajectory. The question is simple. Are you going to let the invisible current pull you downstream, or are you finally going to steer? So there you have it. Emily the teacher, making exactly $58,000 a year in Portland, will be dramatically ahead in 7 years. Marcus earning $112,000 in Chicago will still be stuck. Same country, same economy, completely different outcomes. Income never decided their wealth. The 3 milestones did. The entire architecture of building real money comes down to this cross. The first $10,000 invested, protect the $100,000 net worth moment. Like it's the most valuable second of your life, and keep your baseline expenses low enough that your portfolio can actually replace them. Everything else is just noise. You now know exactly where those windows are. The only question left is whether you'll walk through them on purpose. Take 5 minutes today. Check your invested assets. Write down your baseline expenses and multiply by 300. Then decide which milestone you're steering toward right now. If this conversation hit home, do me a favor and hit that like button. Subscribe so we can keep these Real Talk money lessons coming every week. Drop in the comments which milestone you're closest to and what one move you're making this month. I read every single one. See you in the next one, friend. You've got this.